Metho's Great Adventure by Louise Dorji, illustrated by Lopen Phurba and voiced by Ugen Topke. Metho was a fluffy white puppy. She belonged to a little girl called Che-Chey, who lived in a house on the hillside. There was a large garden where Che-Chey and Metho played together. The little puppy loved to chase butterflies in the garden and the red ball that Che-Chey threw for her to catch. Metho wore a pretty pink collar with sparkles on it. Each day, Che-Chey brushed her puppy's soft white coat. One day, Che-Chey put on her school uniform and packed her lunchbox and pencil case into a pink backpack. "Metho," she said to the puppy, "the holidays are finished, so today I am going to school. I'm sorry, but I can't take you with me." Metho put her head on one side and whined. "Be a good dog," said Che-Chey as she climbed into the big blue car. Metho was sad when Che-Chey went away in the big car. Chasing butterflies was no fun alone, and nobody had time to throw the red ball for her to catch. She went to sit by the gate, hoping Che-Chey would come home soon. After a while, the blue car came back, but Che-Chey wasn't in it. Metho was very disappointed. "I'll go and look for her," she told the big grey cat who was sitting on the gate post. The cat just blinked its eyes. The naughty puppy squeezed through the gate and set off down the road all on her own. First, she trotted past big houses and gardens. She passed below a hill where there was a white temple with a golden roof. Then there were busy streets with many cars and people. After a while, Metho sat down at a street corner. Her paws were tired from trotting along the pavement. "I can't see Che-Chey anywhere," she sighed. "I want to go back home again to my bowl of cool water and something nice to eat from the kitchen." The cars going up and down the street made so much noise, and there were so many people walking past that Metho felt dizzy. "I'll go back," she said. But when she looked around, she couldn't remember the way home. She was lost. A man came out of a shop behind Metho. He was carrying some boxes and nearly fell over her. He ran out into the road where a red car sounded its horn, and a man on a motor scooter swerved around the frightened puppy. He jumped back onto the pavement where a woman was selling vegetables and balls of pale cottage cheese. The woman shouted as Metho scattered a pile of shiny dark green chilies. The puppy ran to hide in a dark place between two shops. Her ears and tail drooped as she crouched behind some cardboard cartoons. The poor little dog was miserable. "I want to go home," she whimpered. She put her head down onto her front paws, and two big tears rolled out of her eyes. Then something terrible happened. A huge black dog stepped out of the shadows. He had a torn ear, mean yellow eyes, and big teeth. "This is my place," he growled. "Go away or I will bite you." More black dogs appeared. They growled and snapped at Metho as they came closer and closer. Metho was too terrified to move. She didn't know how to get away from the scary dogs. She cowered down and tried to make herself as small as possible. "Leave her alone," said a deep voice. She looked up to see a big dog standing beside her. He was a fine fellow with a white chest and a splendid striped coat. "Get behind me," the newcomer told Metho. She crept past him and out into the sunshine. With bare teeth, her new friend backed away slowly from the snarling pack of dogs, snapping at any of them if they came too close. When they were safely away from the fierce dogs, Metho thanked her companion for saving her. She explained that she was lost. He told her that his name was Tiger and offered to help her find the way home. "Where do you live?" asked Metho. Tiger just grinned, his pink tongue lolling out of the side of his mouth. I live anywhere and everywhere, he said. Can you remember anything about the way you got here? Asked Tiger. But Metho shook her head. I came down a hill, past big houses with wide gates, she answered. Oh, and there was a white temple with a golden roof on the hill above, she added. Tiger nodded his head. We will go this way, he said. Stay close to me. He set off with Metho following behind, trying to keep up with her big friend. They trotted along the crowded street, past many busy shops. By now, Metho's legs were getting tired and she was feeling very thirsty. And then she saw a pool of water and she trotted off to have a drink, forgetting that she was supposed to keep close to Tiger. She did not see the man who was loitering close by. While she was drinking, he crept up and grabbed hold of her. She gave a terrified yelp as he pushed her under his dirty coat. Here's a fine little dog, the man muttered to himself. Maybe I can sell it for a good price. At first, Tiger didn't realize that Metho was not with him. When he glanced back, he was surprised that the fluffy white puppy had disappeared. He looked all around but still couldn't see her anywhere. Then he heard her cry out. Tiger ran back when he heard Metho's frightened cry. He saw the man hurrying up the hill. There was something wriggling under his coat and a fluffy white tail was hanging down. Tiger seized the man's coat in his teeth and hung on tight. The man tripped and fell over. As he fell, Metho wriggled free and jumped to the ground. Quick, barked Tiger, and the two dogs ran along the road below the temple with the golden roof. Metho suddenly recognized where they were. Look, Tiger, she cried. This is where I live. Sure enough, there was the house and Che-Chey was just getting out of the big blue car. Metho, what are you doing out in the road? She called. The puppy jumped happily into Che-Chey's arms. The tiger waited outside the gate to be sure his little friend was safe. Who is that by the gate? Asked Che-Chey as her puppy joyfully tried to lick her face. Metho jumped down and ran to Tiger, who was standing by the gate post. She reached up to rub her face against his. Thank you, whispered Metho. I'll never forget how kind you were to me. Will I see you again? She asked shyly as Tiger turned to go back down the hill. Sure you will, Tiger replied with a grin. I'll be keeping an eye on you. The fluffy white puppy watched as Tiger trotted away. The big grey cat who was sitting on the gate post just blinked her eyes and said nothing.